What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to chart breakdown number 41, and we're going to be talking about AU. Currently, we are at the start of day number 2 for the You Are the Indicator in-person course. So we have a couple of our friends over here. Say hi, say hi, say hi, say hi. A little early, right? And we'll be getting started pretty soon. So what we're going to do is break down specifically AU. If you were to go back a couple chart breakdowns before, I think it was 38 or 39, I spoke about how on AU, I saw the fact that it would push down a bit to at least 38.2. And then from there, I saw the fact that there could be a point at which it may continue its downtrend or switch and actually turn into an uptrend. And this is what I'm talking about. So when it comes to AU, we can see a clear downtrend based upon this daily time frame, guys, right? Yeah. We can be able to see a clear downtrend based upon this daily time frame, clear, right? But what I also saw was the fact that this wick was strange. Because if you were to look, this wick by itself is 200 and something pips by itself. Maybe. It could be that, but the way that I thought about it was, I think the sellers are all gone now. Because if you think about it, if I'm a long-term trader, if I'm a swing trader, my take profits are far. Most likely, a lot of people's take profits were hit at that point. Does that make sense? The market was pushed down, it was flooded to the downside, all take profits were wiped out. With that being the case, I think everybody, they got their money, they're good. I think the sellers are gone. Exactly what you're saying, where the sellers are getting tired, sellers exhaustion to the max, essentially. So there was like a dilemma going on in my mind where it's like, okay, are the sellers still available because that wick is just so large? Or are the buyers going to start picking up now, being the fact that this was hit? So let's go ahead and go to the H4 time frame. And yes, we had that thought in our mind, but we do have to understand structure is more important than anything. And what is the actual structure? The actual structure is a downtrend. So that's where the bias has to be. The bias has to be stronger towards the downside, but there is that fundamentals portion of the trading that you have to pick up, which is this long wick that I've never seen before. Okay, so with the way that we usually trade, we gotta, say, oh, another thing that popped up in my mind is the fact that we do see higher highs and higher lows forming on this H4 time frame as well. That's another thing. You guys see that? Higher highs and higher lows forming. Yes, this pushes down in a strong manner. And yes, it closes under this area, right? But same thing that we talked about with EU, how did it close on the higher time frame? Okay, yes, this does close under with no issue. Let's look in the weekly time frame. And what do we see? Support. You guys see that? We do see a level of support. This is just a major wick. How does this actually close? Bullish. What do we see here? Long wick. The wick is about to close with this long wick. Does that make sense? You know? So now what we'll do is we'll go to the H4 time frame, still with that mindset where we see that from point A right here, man, it's kind of hard to fit everything. Let's go ahead and take off the auto. And we see the fact that from point A here, point B down here, right? A here, point B here. We see the fact that this is back. Now this is over here. Not looking back over here. This hasn't happened as of yet, right? This hasn't happened as of yet. right? So this hasn't happened yet. All we see is the fact that price finds a level of resistance, right? Price finds a level of resistance. Boom, boom. It has been retracing for a while. This is essentially is a retracement, right? This has been retracing for a while. We see a level of resistance, and that's when I mentioned, hey, we should probably start selling here. You guys remember that? We should probably start selling here. But I had two different take profits. I had to take profit where it'd be point A, point B, point C, point D, negative 27%. That was my first take profit. And then that's when the other mindset came in where it's like this long wick, I think the sellers are gone. What if this starts to make an uptrend now? And that's when I switched my analysis. When I switched it, but I had both analysis, where I had one trade to go to the negative 27% and one trade just to go to what if this is the beginning of a new uptrend, right? And this is how I did it from new point A down here to an uptrend type of mindset. So point A, point B, and then point C would be 38.2. Do you guys remember that? 38.2. And what do I also see? 38.2 is in confluence with what? This weekly key level, right? So remember how I mentioned over here, I'm like, it's right around that 38.2 area. I'm just going to close out. Remember I put that in the chat? I'm just going to close out my trade. It was close enough. It was about 15 pips close. I closed out. I saw it was slowing up. And then what happened? Started pushing up. But then what do we see? It shot right back down. But I was good because I saw it start to consolidate around this 38.2. I saw that it was at a weekly key level. I was good off AU. I needed it to continue to make lower lows and lower highs for me to feel confident about this, right? And then that's when I saw this happen. And I'm like, well, what if that analysis is true, where this is going to be a start of an uptrend? We'll have to see as time continues. We do have to see how this H4 key level, how this H4 candle closes. We do have only 10 minutes left, right? And we'll have to see as time continues how this is going to move. But we do have to wait, essentially. We do definitely have to wait to see how this retraces, because it's going to retrace, right? And does it make a new higher high? If it does, then we'll have to probably wait for another retrace and then a continuation. Why? Because when it comes to AU specifically, the downtrend based upon this daily time frame is very, very, very strong. Structure is more important than a break structure on a lower time frame. Does that make sense? Structure on a higher time frame is more important than structure being broken on a lower time frame. We're going to talk about that day 3 as well. All right. So what we're going to be speaking about right now is tested support, tested resistance, broken support, broken resistance, and then from there, basics of market structure, uptrend and downtrend, stuff like that. But real hardcore on that, and how it breaks structure and stuff like that. Okay, you guys got that? Yeah. Good. All right, so that concludes chart breakdown number 41. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment at the bottom. Also, like this video if it helped you in any way, and also share this if you think that this is going to be able to help out somebody else. And we'll go on from there. I know for sure you can be able to learn all the stuff that I mentioned in chart breakdown number 40 and 41 in our You Are the Indicator online course, and we'll go on and see you soon. Peace.